What the fuck is up, everybody? The Royal Rumble just ended. We are your ring crew.
Smitty.
Z.
And of course, the almighty one, Mikey. So she wasn't an entrant into the Women's Royal Rumble, but she did show up at the Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey made a rousing appearance at the end of it to point, try to shake hands, point, walk, point. Okay, so Z, what did you get out of that? Because that was the weirdest fucking ending to that show.
I still got nothing. I think it takes away from Asuka winning the Rumble in general. I think if anything, they should have had Ronda in it, but especially when she came out with the Rowdy Piper graphic.
And a Joan Jett, bad reputation.
But that's her.
That
her
doesn't
entrance.
bother me. It doesn't even bother me that she's using the Rowdy Piper graphic. I don't know what to make of the ending at all. It was a lot like with the Triple H and Undertaker thing where all they did was this and nobody says a fucking word.
Yeah, but that
kind of made sense.
Yeah, I got that one. You know,
right,
because that was it set up a match. This literally nothing. You got nothing out of it, Smitty.
It's like if she want to go be in a match, have her on commentary or have her somewhere ringside. Just have her come out at the end of the
Or you have Asuka pick who she wants to face and have Ronda come out and challenge the other one. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, if at the end of it she even just
blasted somebody,
or Asuka shook her hand and pointed to the fucking sign as well, then hey, it looks like it's Ronda versus Asuka at Mania, and instead of Asuka choosing a champion, she chose Ronda Rousey, and that's fine too. But you're literally left with nothing after this.
All this is what are we doing, Ronda? That's all it's saying.
It's like Ronda could fight Charlotte because she looked at Charlotte, she looked at Asuka, she paid no attention to Alexa Bliss. She was just there.
Was a slap to the face of the Raw Women's Championship at that point too.
I don't even think it's a slap in the face to the champion. I just think nobody knew what the fuck was going on, and whatever direction Ronda got in the back was not good at all, in any way, shape, or form.
I agree.
Men's Royal Rumble match. The collective Philadelphia crowd busted a nut when Shinsuke Nakamura was the final one after he eliminated Roman Reigns in the Men's Royal Rumble match. Smitty, how you feeling about this one?
Team Japan all day.
Asuka, Nakamura. Are you happy about AJ Styles versus Nakamura?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because I watched Wrestle Kingdom 10 match and I know those guys will tear the house down. They'll probably have the best match at WrestleMania this year.
Z?
I agree with Smitty on that one. That they're going to have the best match at WrestleMania this year. But, yeah, I mean, it was a good match. This is one of the best Royal Rumbles I've seen in years. Collectively, as a whole.
What match, Z, was the worst one for you?
The worst match?
Yeah, the worst match.
Like...
Overall.
Throughout the whole
All the whole pay-per-view. Every match that was on it.
The Women's Royal Rumble.
Really?
There was a lot of botches, a lot of mistakes. The worst match as far... I was still excited about it. I had a good time watching it, but as far as worst match, on the card, they had the most mistakes in their match.
Man,
and not to mention, there was a 10-minute period where every woman except for Nia Jax and whoever was in the ring was laying on the floor. Sasha kept rolling out of the ring. You know what I mean? There was never that moment when you had all the women in the ring at one time like you would in old school Royal Rumble.
But didn't we say we all expected mistakes and botches and stuff?
Right, but I was asked what I thought was the worst match, and collectively, as a whole, I think that was the worst match.
What about you?
I'm not saying it was a bad match, I'm just saying it was the worst one on the card.
The rest of us.
What do you think is the worst match?
The Raw Tag match.
The Raw Tag match. Why?
I get you trying to sell the fact that we all know that both Sheamus and Jason Jordan are both hurt. Jason Jordan did absolutely nothing in this match, and it was pretty much watching a handicap squash, pretty much.
Whoever was just viewing said that they were hoping for the Undertaker. There was no way. Look, after Raw 25, Undertaker coming in that ring, as crazy as it was and weird as it was, he's done.
Yes, and if one more person points to that WrestleMania sign, I'm going to be so mad.
We just created a WrestleMania sign here.
I just saw a hurricane.
My least favorite match was the triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Absolute fucking shit. It was, and so that's what they just said. Worst title fight. Kane didn't need to be there. Simply, it was absolute fucking garbage. There was, again, you built Braun up to have Braun lose, and even though Braun didn't take the pin, and he got a table thrown on him, he stood up, hit Brock, Brock fell. It was the worst match I've seen since the Braun Strowman Brock Lesnar fight after the Fatal 4-Way at No Mercy last year. It was horrible. And then, holy shit,
the finishers.
No, not just the finishers. Braun Strowman hit Brock Lesnar with a running power slam, and Brock Lesnar was like, "No, fuck you. I'm not even getting pinned for this." It wasn't even a 1 count. He didn't take a 1 count.
That's like the finishers meant nothing in that whole match.
Brock Lesnar is literally going to drop his title to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's been set in stone for years. Best match on the card for you, Smitty?
I would have to say it was probably the Men's Royal Rumble this year.
Men's Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Why?
I did like the AJ handicap, but I think because this is the best Royal Rumble we've seen in at least, we'll say 5 years.
Yeah.
The best, hands down.
5 years? Keep going.
I say just being minimum. I said the minimum 5. Let's say 5.
What was the one? Who won? We were just saying that. Cena won in 13. Who won in 12?
Del Rio. That was 40 man,
Really?
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Del Rio.
Del Rio won 40 man.
That was horrible too. Royal Rumble usually is shit. What was your best match?
2-on-1 handicap match. I think that match was great.
I think, I'm going to have to go with the handicap match as well because, I did like the men's Royal Rumble match. There was no real huge surprises. I mean, Hurricane came out. That was awesome.
Rey Mysterio. I mean, there was kind of rumors of that.
Rey Mysterio came out. I mean, look, man, Hurricane and Rey Mysterio coming out with 205.
So hot in
with
goddamn house.
with this room with 205 being dealing with what it's dealing with. Hurricane and Rey Mysterio. Hopefully, they're coming back for a little bit longer than what it seems like. I would totally appreciate that.
Cien Andrade Almas, excellent outing for his first Rumble, and he was one of the guys that lasted probably the longest throughout the match.
Who is your favorite surprise entrant into men or women?
I'd have to go Almas because he has had an amazing outing, and I just like my predictions. I picked Roderick Strong, but Adam Cole was a nice surprise to see.
Nice.
I really didn't expect to see him after the brutal beating he took from Aleister Black last night. So,
Z, what is your favorite surprise entrant from men or women?
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
I think we all popped really hard.
I did too, but I'm with Mark for superheroes.
Man, I think my favorite surprise entrant was Lita. And only because she looked No, I don't care how bad she was. I'm talking about just the entrant.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying I'm talking about what they did,
Okay.
because if that's the case, Hurricane can't say anything because he went right out. You know?
Yeah, he went out to Cena.
Her coming out was a surprise because basically Lita's been thought of as glass since all of her injuries and everything. So I was not expecting it whatsoever. That's why she's my favorite surprise, because it was literal surprise to me. Everyone else, Kelly coming out, all of them, they were all
on Raw 25.
Yeah, they were there on Raw 25, so you kind of expected them to come.
I think Kyrie Sane was the only mix.
We were just asked, do we ever think King Kong Bundy was sexy or nah?
Nah.
Yeah.
I knew you liked cock.
I couldn't find it. Still no proof that there was one.
Allegedly. So, moving on, everything that's set up, the men's set up something for WrestleMania, the women's made you go, what the fuck's gonna happen at WrestleMania? What are you... Booker T's not coming back, no.
Booker T needs to leave and never come back.
Give me a scenario for how we get to the men's #1 contender for the Raw Championship. Obviously, we got Elimination Chamber. Is that where you think it's going to happen?
110%. Brock's not going to wrestle Brock's not wrestling for the championship or period until WrestleMania. Maybe a live show or two, but so I'm thinking you're either going to see like a chamber match that is for the number one contendership, or it's going to be a chamber match for the IC title. You're not going to see a championship match at Elimination Chamber for the Universal title.
All right, Smitty, do you agree that it's the Elimination Chamber for the number one contendership? It said Rousey. I saw it.
Yes, but I also agree that the better thing they would do, that Z said, do it with the IC title. Put the IC title in the chamber.
So
It's a title you see every week.
So you think there should be a Elimination Chamber match for the IC title and for the number one contendership for the match?
No, at this point, Braun has a legitimate gripe, like, you didn't pin me, and you know they're going to push Roman because Roman was the last guy in the Royal Rumble, and they're going to have those guys that go one-on-one for number one contendership.
So you think it's going to be Roman versus Braun for the Elimination Chamber, for the number one contendership?
Hey, I bet we find out tomorrow.
Probably.
I think the Elimination Chamber is a great idea for the number one contendership. You got 6 people, and the 6 that I think you're going to see Roman in it because he's got a legitimate gripe. You're going to see Braun in it because he's
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. You're going to see Braun. You're going to see Roman, and
I agree 100%. Raw Tag Team Division needs some work.
Man, I'm honestly surprised AOP didn't show up, man.
Tomorrow.
Honestly, it was like Big Four. You don't usually see them now, unless in the World, you may see somebody a surprise entrant. But come-ups don't come until the Monday or Tuesday after.
So that last comment said the Women's Royal Rumble was great. If you weren't listening earlier, we're actually kind of iffy on it because there was a lot of botches. And look, I agree that most of the botches were Michelle McCool and Kelly Kelly. And that proved why that women's era of wrestling was divas and not real wrestling. These are just people joining. Oh, okay. And but at the same time, a lot of women spent a lot of time outside of the ring, so there wasn't really any interaction.
No Rumble.
Yeah, you know, like, again, look, I'm not saying it sucked. It was definitely, for the first one ever, it was all right. You know, it could have been better. There could have been more interaction in the ring.
There could have been some more actual surprises.
But it seems
okay, this is what I chalked it up to. I mean, you knew there was going to be botches. You knew there was going to be mistakes because it is the first one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the girls got gassed, and they got to go for a whole hour. Like, Sasha was in there from beginning to Final Four.
And you're
so
right.
She kept rolling out the ring, get a breather,
But
whatever. Plus, if you leave them all in there with Nia, and nobody gets eliminated, it's not believable. So you have them all roll out the ring and her have them throw each other out one at a time, and then they all gang up on Nia, which...
I think the other problem with the Women's Royal Rumble was them pretending that Naomi had done something that nobody else had ever done before, and that is avoid the elimination by crawling with their feet on a chair.
To answer your question, Coco beware.
Yeah. Becky could have been there in the end. You know what, man? I think I'm okay with the Bella's twins being there, mainly because
those are Vince's girls.
No, not just because they're Vince's girls, but because they've been out and they've not really gotten any of these special accolades that all these other women have had. Sasha being in all these first matches, Becky being on all these first matches. I just think that it's okay that they finally got an accolade. They don't have to get a WrestleMania match. They don't have to have any of these women's evolution matches type things to make them better. But to give them something, just something. Nothing major. You know, the Sasha Banks elimination was by both Bellas. You know, it's really not going to have any effect on any storyline. Hence why Sasha versus Bayley, because Sasha eliminated Bayley. Asuka.
Sasha kind of went full-blown heel toward the end of that match,
Right,
too.
and Asuka got her last elimination on a Bella, so no one else is going to step in for any type of title anywhere else. Hence Ronda Rousey. So, I don't know.
And a whole lot of what the fuck.
We're going to talk a lot about this more this Wednesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our podcast, Breaking Down the Ring. Make sure you follow us, all of our Facebook stuff.
Nobody want to dig her up?
Miss Elizabeth is dead. You know this, right?
Want to dig her up?
Zombie Royal Rumble next year. First one ever.
My money's on Moolah.
I got Luna Vachon.
Yep, she's dead. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. BDR Cast for everything. And remember, we are sponsored by a condom company. You can get condoms delivered to your door so you can jerk it and not get it on yourself. Or use one of your socks or have sex with a girl. Yeah. Just go to
but not Enzo sex.
Yeah, make sure they say yes. Go to beadandy.com/podcast and you guys can save 50% on your first order. We are your ring crew.
Z.
And I am the almighty one. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in on Wednesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, podcastdetroit.com, and you can listen to us. Also, subscribe on iTunes and all that other stuff. Nice. We're out.